So hello everyone. In this code we have made a moon robot and have placed it on the grid so that we can control its movement by placing the move and place methods. It will be moving in right, left, in this north, south, east or west directions. So let's get started with our code explanation. Firstly, we have made a class called moon robot. In this class we declare three variables. First one is the position variable which will store the position of the robot in the x and y coordinates respectively. Secondly, we have the d variable. It will store the direction and by default it is set to as n. Thirdly, we have a boolean variable called pset. It will serve as a flag to check if the position of the robot is set or not. Now we'll be using methods to define the position of the robot. Firstly, we have the p method. This p method sets the position of the robot and store it in the x and y coordinates. Also, it checks the status of the robot by using the pset flag. Secondly, we have the M method. This method represents the robot movement. It checks if the robot is set as pset. If it is, it updates the position based on the direction of the robot is facing. Next, we have the L method. It represents the robot turning left. It updates the direction D by calling the R method with a parameter of 1 if the position is set on the pset flag. Next, we have the R method. It represents the robot turning right. It updates the direction by calling the R method with a parameter of -1 as it will be moving in the opposite direction. Next we have the method called S. It will display the current status of the robot. Next we have the private boolean I variable. In this method, the I checks if the position X or Y is within the limit 0 to 49 in both the dimensions, as we have set it here. Next we have the public method D. It will check the direction of I, whether it is valid in the north, south, west or east direction or not. Secondly, we have the private string R. This method rotates the direction C by the specified bound S. It returns the new direction after rotation. Next, we have the program class. In this class, the main method serves as the entry point of the program. We declare a variable t in this as the user inputs the value. It changes it to uppercase and splits into the arrays of strings. If t equal to null, then t dot length will be equal to 0. This line will check if the input array is null or empty. If it is, then it will continue to the next iteration of the loop. Lastly, we use the switch statement that handles the commands entered by the user. That are basically the place, move, left, right, exit. If we call the exit command, then the program will end and the ending message will be thanks. Lastly, we have the r.s method that will be used as an instance to display the current status of the robot after each command execution. Thank you. So now let's get started with the output explanation. Okay, so let's now try to run the program by opening the terminal. The .NET run. Now firstly we'll be allowing the robot on to settle on the coordinate 0, 0 as it will be better for observation. So let's enter the command place 0 which is the x coordinate and 0 which is the y coordinate in the north direction. Enter. As you can see the robot is placed. Now I'll be performing operations on the robot to move it. Let's uh, let's type the move command. As we can see that it moved to the y direction and as it is +1, so we'll be assuming that it is moved left as we have declared here that it will be adding 1 onto its coordinate. So let's try to rotate it anti-clockwise and then move it. So we'll be typing left 2 times, left and left. Now let's try to move it. Now as you can see, the coordinates are again 0, 0. As that robot moved 180 degree and it rotated the robot. So as we can see, the direction will be -1. So the coordinates are 0, 0 and in the south direction, which is the opposite of north direction. Similarly, we can move the robot in specific directions according to us. So let's try to move it left. As you can see, it is placed in the east direction. Now if we'll try to move it, then it will be moving by 1 in the east direction. So as you can see, the x coordinate rose up by 1. So this was all about the output. Thank you.